Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, beef. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Patty to patty.
One style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro.
Yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Council down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I'm your host, Bodkins. Man, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. All the dads who have come back with the milk. You know what I mean? We all know that there's some dads that they're still out getting them cigarettes and milk. But happy Father's Day to all the dads out there who did come back with the milk when they said they were going to just go out for milk. I know it's. Being a dad, it's never an easy. In life's nothing easy, and dads, it's, I'm not saying taking away from moms. Moms have a hard job too. Everybody has a hard job. That's life. It's tough being a parent sometimes, but dads, we're just different. Like our job is to protect, our job is to do this. And then we have the stigma of men, especially these days. It's, celebrate your dad, celebrate, that whether it's, or that father figure in your life that's taught you something, because, it's tough. And so happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And, if you're going through something, man, it's okay to talk. Like we need to get rid of this stigma of it's not to talk about your feelings and this and those types of things. Enjoy your day with your kids. Yesterday I took my kids to Six Flags. Just enjoy the day with them. They'll tell you a lot of times I like to be by myself and things like that. A lot of times I do want to be that peace and quiet, but I enjoy being outside and enjoy making those memories with them. And so make some memories. Make sure you're do whatever your dad wants to do. Go fishing, go hiking, go swimming, go whatever it is. Most dads, we just want to do something outside, enjoy the day, and enjoy that quality time with you. And then when we get home, if dad just wants to sit down and watch the game, just peek down during the game and chime in during the commercials. You know what I mean? And ask if you're going to ask questions about the game. That's what that's what it's all about. But back into the show, we're going to do. If you think your dad's kind of crappy, we're going to do the worst. We did the worst TV moms. So on Mother's Day today, we're going to do the worst TV dads here. At the back end of the show, but we got a lot to get into. Welcome up, who he is, my brother from another mother, Mr. Johnny Cruz. Happy Father's Day, brother, and good morning.
Good morning. Happy Father's Day, and I'm going to piggyback on that. Yes. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that actually came back with the milk. That was well said. I ain't gonna front, just to be real. I'm gonna put it out there. Yeah, my dad was one of them pieces of shit that bounced right away. So I really don't have a relationship with him. Never really did. So yes, if your dad, your father is in your life, yeah, enjoy the time with
somebody though. There's somebody your father figure.
Yeah, absolutely. I had my grandfather helped raise me, and then I had some uncles that I got a lot of love for, and one of my closest friends is an older gentleman. He's a little older than me, so it's more of a brotherly love, but he still gets much love. Shout out to my boy Arthur. Happy Father's Day to Arthur. But yeah, happy Father's Day to the people out there, and I'm with you though. Like usually, happy the best thing. What's going on, William? Happy Father's Day. Yeah, sometimes it'd be, go do something with the kids. Let me be just by myself and just chill, watch the game and relax and stuff like that. That sometimes is the best Father's Day. But yeah, like you said, I usually want to do something with them, you know what I'm saying? Go out and, have a nice lunch or whatever, do something outside like you mentioned. Me and my youngest went to the movies last night, which I'll be reviewing that. We saw Ballerina last night. It was pretty cool. But yeah, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there that do what they got to do to take care of their families.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, you know.
And shout out to the stepdads and stuff like that too, because that shit is hard as hell too. Taking on that responsibility of helping raise kids that ain't yours biologically, but you're stepping up and doing what you got to do. So shout out to all the stepdads out there that are holding it down as well.
Yeah. Amen to that. Yeah. I've had just on the topic, my dad, he showed me more what not to do as a kid than what to do. But I've had definitely few influential men in my life that whether it was my stepdad, a basketball coach, some other people. So shout out to all them and anybody. You never know. Even I don't think at times you don't know the influence when you're talking to a young male, the influence that you're going to carry on for that person in their life. So shout out. But Johnny, let's go ahead and get into it. The NBA Finals is 2-2 here. They brought in Scott Foster game 4 to kind of make sure I felt like that the series got extended. The Pacers, I felt like missed an opportunity to maybe widen this gap and put the kind of maybe not cut the head off the snake, but really start making it bleed. And the Thunder, they steal one. I thought in game, not really steal one, but they come back to win game 4. Even this series up at 2-2. Now we're into a best of 3 series.
Yeah, it's been pretty back and forth this whole series. I don't know what the Thunder coach was thinking. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Like changing his starting lineup to start the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like go with what got you there. So he went back to it these last couple games, and the last couple games, I know they lost, game 3 in Indiana, but they managed to win game 4. It's this NBA, it's all about who's making shots on that particular night. You know what I'm saying? So if Indiana's making their threes, they have a really good chance to win the game. In game 3, Tyrese Halliburton game 2, Tyrese Halliburton kind of went MIA, and then it came back and had a really big game 3, game 4. He played pretty good, but not great. SGA had a nice game.
SGA was efficient, I felt like, but not.
Yeah.
He wasn't like he was like
he wasn't like he was in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? He's been fairly, but I think his like he needs to be more aggressive, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the MVP for a reason. And not just with the scoring. Yes, there's times where you're gonna have to take over the game at the end of the game to score some points, but setting up your teammates and stuff like that. Again, the way this league is set up now, the one-on-one is so easy, especially for playmaking point guards. So I think he needs to try to take advantage of that. They need to try to take advantage of their size. That's why, again, I don't know why he changed the lineup. I think when he has Hartenstein and Chet in the game, they're just so much bigger than Indiana. But they need to. They were the best defense all year. They need to show that if they're gonna pull out the series, because Indiana could put a point. So if they let Indiana run, Indiana's gonna wind up winning this series. But I mean, I'm glad that it's 2-2 and that now it's the best of 3. So it comes down to these last couple of games. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. I wish it wasn't freaking 2, 3, 4 days in between each freaking game too. Like I hate that the NBA does that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I did too. I was surprised game 5 wasn't tonight.
It would have been perfect Sunday night. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead it's tomorrow night, but it's been fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, neither one of these franchises has won a title, so somebody's going to be a first-time NBA champion, either Indiana or OKC. So it's been entertaining for the most part. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night and seeing who takes the lead here.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining series to me.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people. People are. I think Stephen A. said it's not interesting. Like, but then there's photos of him at the game playing solitaire on his phone. So, like, I mean, there's all types of people are kind of some people.
He's if he ain't in L.A. or Miami
Yeah,
or New York, then he don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way
yeah,
he is. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I mean, if you like good basketball, I mean, it's entertaining basketball. I mean, if you like modern day basketball, you know, both these teams play it well.
They play
They're
it better.
both
I mean,
they're both pretty fast paced, which is what I like to watch. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're gonna be this wide open as far as the way the league is, then I want to see more up and down the court. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a bunch of slow and then just shooting threes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Just keep running it, which is what I think Halliburton does best is when he grabs that ball and runs. Similar to his 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 female player on the women's league. You know what I'm saying? She came
yeah,
back and kicked some ass. I mean, I'm sure we'll touch on that for a second.
yeah.
But when she's running up and down the court, like they're just so much better. And I think Indiana's the same way. If Halliburton is pushing the ball, he's making things happen for his teammates, and
Hallie,
that's when he's more effective, Tyrese Halliburton, that way.
yeah, Hallie. He makes so much. Like I'm watching that game Friday night, and he's done it throughout the playoffs. But I was even talking to my son, like we were watching the game together. He was making some tough layups. Just, I mean, the
Yeah,
shots that he
yes,
makes around the layup. I said,
bro.
he's got
Nobody can stay in front of him. Nobody
yes.
can stay in front of him. If he drives to the basket, he'll get to the basket or get a
And
foul
then it's just like
every time.
how he angles it off the
Yes,
backboard, and then it's just like
I
it
mean
hits
he's
every part of
six.
the rim, and it just goes in. I'm like, he's got like he makes enough
Yes, and
to
he's a big point. He's what
yeah,
6'5", 6'6",
yeah. He's a
almost.
Magic Johnson esque.
Yeah, he's one of the taller. He's like a penny type point guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And again, dumbass Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying? Not Knicks fans, but the Knicks had a chance to draft him. They didn't.
yeah.
But I like the way he plays. I like the way SGA plays.
Speaking
You
of
know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's
SGA,
entertaining. I'm enjoying it.
he's just been efficient. Like
Yeah.
he's not so the other night he was 12 of 24 and 10 from 10 from the free throw line. But that like so in the fourth quarter is when he kind of started coming alive a little bit more. My
Yep.
question, like, I don't understand. Speaking of you mentioned like if you're scoring, like leave that guy. Obi Toppin in game 3 was like in the third quarter was like I think he had 10 points or 8 points in
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
quarter.
He was on fire. They should have kept going to him.
Yes, and then in the fourth he wasn't out there as much, and I was like, man, I probably would have kept riding him. Like I
Yeah.
probably would have kept used because he was balling out. So like he was hot, and he was doing it offensively and defensively. So I probably would have. I'm like, look, I'm gonna keep playing this guy. He's you know what I mean. Like it felt
Yeah.
like they needed a bucket in that third quarter. He was the one that was making it. So I just felt like, man, I probably would have had him out there.
Yeah, I'm with you. They should have just rolled the hot hand.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna question Rick Carlisle that much because I think he's been doing a
Right.
phenomenal.
I'm not gonna, I'm over here criticizing the Hall of Fame basketball coach.
But I completely agree with you on that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they had no answer for Obi Toppin at that moment. So you don't know how long that hot streak's gonna last. So just ride it out. You know what I'm saying? For as long as you can. Especially they had the lead at the time. So
Yeah.
just they could have tried to expand on that lead a little bit, but I'm completely with you on that one. But it left the door open for OKC to make their comeback. And again, I'm glad. I honestly expected OKC to win this in 5 because they were just the best team all year, and they had the number 1 defense. I mean, I knew Indiana could put up points, but I didn't know that they would be able to slow down OKC as well as they have. So it's to my surprise that it's tied 2-2 and that it's going to go obviously at least 6. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully we see some good competitive games. I hope the last couple games ain't a couple blowouts. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see drama. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it come down to the final couple minutes or whatever, so we can have some fun there at the end.
I think both teams win on their home court, and then ask me about Game 7 when Game 7
Yeah, I mean that's the best. Those are the best words in sports is Game 7. So yeah, it would be nice. You know what I'm saying, that to go 7, it would be very interesting to see.
I think it does. I just think,
especially in OKC, because I know Indiana's already won there, but
Yeah.
I mean they get into it in OKC. Props to those fans out there, man. They really support their team out there. So yeah, a game 7 in OKC, that would be quite an environment. That'd be some fun.
I think both fan bases have showed up. Like
Absolutely.
Indiana fans have been like
Absolutely.
They've been packed out, and that's one thing about these smaller markets.
Yeah.
You know, you could say is like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? That's all they got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially Oklahoma's. You know, that's the only team. That's the only sports team they have. Like national team that they have. They don't have another team. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm with you on that. And I know that the national media and all, they always want to talk about the big markets and nah, man. But I hear them as far as like the TV ratings and shit like that. But I mean, these fan bases in these smaller markets, like they really support their clubs for the most part, man. So it's nice to see them getting some run and seeing those packed, because you want to see a packed arena. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see it
not even packed, the environment. You know what
I
mean?
Man. Yeah. That makes it more. If you're a competitor, that makes it so much fun. Like, I mean, I know we didn't play nowhere near that level. What's up, Alan? We didn't play nowhere near the pro level, but there was no better feeling than beating a team on the road in any sport. You know what I'm saying? Baseball, football, whatever, man. When you beat that team on the road, especially if it's a packed house, oh my God, that was just the silence. Like, oh my God, that was such a great feeling.
When you could win a game at the other team's like homecoming in high school, like
that was even better.
yeah, because like that's it, around here. Like when I grew up, like all small schools, so like basketball was the homecoming, so like that's like the biggest game of the year. So like the whole town goes up to that game and it's packed. So if like you can beat a team at their homecoming, like that's you know what I mean. That's the thing.
Yeah. See, up in New York, it was football. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you had that rival school. And if they actually had, if you were on their schedule for homecoming and you were away, like, yes, you wanted to get that one. Yeah. You wanted to get that one.
So Alan says they were out there at 3 a.m. in the pouring rain at the airport. Welcome the team back home. So
that's how they do it, man. Good for them, man.
Yeah. And good in both fan bases. And I think this has been a fun series so far. Like I said, I think Thunder win game 5. Pacers probably win game 6 back at home, and then game 7 I'll make a pick. Then that's kind of my how I feel.
Yeah, I mean I went OKC in 6 from jump, so I'll stick with that. But I would not be surprised. I mean I'm kind of hoping for a game 7. I mean, like I said, there's nothing better in sports than game 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think whoever wins tomorrow night is is obviously going to put themselves in a really good position. But I got no horse in the race, so I'm just enjoying the competition.
To me, it's just like both teams to me just have like just straight some really good just hoopers. You know what I mean, guys?
Yes, and guys that you can cheer for.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you can cheer for Tyrese House. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know Nick. I know Knicks fans ain't cheering for him.
Like the role players like Neem Smith and Nate like you know what I mean? Like from
they got good guys and stuff.
Yeah,
Alex man.
Russo from the Thunder. You know
right,
what I mean?
Jay Williams from OKC. I'm with you, bro. Like they got guys that it's easy to cheer for them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you're hating on one particular team because they got this particular player that's a douche or nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're both young teams too. Yeah. They're both young teams too. So it's a lot of fun, man. Some new blood in the NBA Finals is always good, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. And I'm enjoying it. I think it's been great. Let's switch some gears to real quick. We'll just kind of you mentioned Caitlin Clark made her return last night after coming off I think it was quad injury.
Yeah.
And
a quad. It was a quad.
Yeah, quad. And she gets they down your New York Liberty.
Yeah, dude.
102 to 88. The Fever they maintained pretty decent without Caitlin in there. They're 5-5 at 500. And that was the Liberty's first loss of the season. So
yeah, they were the last undefeated team, 9-0. Minnesota has been balling as well with Nafisa Collier, who's probably the leader for MVP. They had just lost their first game a couple days ago. So yeah, the Liberty, there's no more undefeated teams. The New York Liberty, and they've been playing really well. They suffered a bit of an injury with Jocko Jones, who was the Finals MVP. She's out with an ankle. But they were still balling. Sabrina Ionescu, who's my favorite player, was balling out there. Breanna Stewart. But yeah, bro, you see the Caitlin Clark effect when she's back, bro. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm obviously a New York Liberty fan, and Sabrina, like I said, is my favorite player, but I ain't gonna front. CC is my second favorite player to watch. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not watching the Liberty, I'm watching the Fever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been rough the last. It's been rough the last few games without her. But you can see how different this team plays when she's out there, and she just brings that energy, and her style of play is so much fun to watch, and it's so entertaining. And the rest of the team, feeds off of her.
They still got some time because they got added some new pieces, Cunningham and a couple other.
It's going to take some time. Yeah, it's going to take some time for them to all mesh together.
Yeah, they haven't hit their stride yet either. And
right.
And then she gets hurt after the first game of the
year.
Right.
Yeah. So. Well, and they were actually both out. Sophie Cunningham was out for a little bit too.
Yeah.
And that's not even to mention DeWanna Bonner, who's on the team. Like this Fever team is loaded. Once they get into the flow of the season. I mean, it's only 10 games in. There's still another 34 games. So there's still some time. Hopefully, health permitting. There's no more injuries, but for all those naysayers on CC, don't tell me that girl hasn't been the one carrying this league, because the ratings have plummeted when she wasn't playing. Yeah, I mean, tickets were selling for like $6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now she comes back and it's several $100s to go see her play. You know what I'm saying? So WNBA, get your shit together and promote this girl properly and give her due respect, because she's carrying y'all's league. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Stop with the whole, you know what I'm saying? Like the reality of that whole shit last year with Angel Reese is really hitting them, because the girl, she's got some good qualities, Angel Reese, as far as a rebounder, but she ain't nothing. She ain't shit compared to Caitlin Clark. She's the one carrying the league, so I'm glad she's healthy and she's back. It sucks that they beat my Liberty, but it was a fun game to watch, and I'm glad CC is healthy and back on the court.
Yeah, you just, number one, she's too good of a player. You know what I mean? Like, you want to see the best out there, and she's so you never want to see any injury, really. But then to the, maybe the best player in the game, like, you never want to see that injury anyway. So, like, and to a critical point where she is the star of this league, to kind of prop her up. And she, one thing is, like, the difference, when somebody's good, when they don't ever have to say that they're the best or talk, you know what I mean? And they just go about their business. Michael Jordan never said he was the greatest player of all time. You know what I mean?
He didn't have to.
You didn't have to, right?
Right.
Caitlin doesn't say she's the best player. She doesn't really say anything. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
she just balls.
Yeah, she just goes out there, plays her game, and balls out. Where you don't get that, with Angel Reese, and and I get it that confidence, you got to be confident, but the internet's going to eat you too, and so that's what the internet's going to eat, and it doesn't help that her team's not very good either. They only have 2 wins. So
no, they are absolute garbage. You know what I'm saying? They're not anything fun to watch at all. So yeah, no, they're gonna have a top pick. So have fun with that, Chicago Sky fans. But no, man, the Fever are fun, and Caitlin Clark is as advertised. I wouldn't say she's the best player in the league quite yet, but she's already probably in the top 5, top 7 players in this league. You say it. I mean, she's a walking triple double.
Yeah.
So for all those naysayers that are like, oh, all she does is shoot, this girl is probably the best passer in the league already. And she's one of the best shooters. You know what I'm saying? She's just a playmaker. She's definitely one of the best players already, and she's definitely one of the most entertaining. And she moves the needle. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that moves the needle. So, if you haven't checked her out, check her out. She's a lot of fun to watch, man. And that team, they put some good players around her. And again, once they get that chemistry going, Fever going to be a problem, man. They got some players on that team.
Exactly. We'll keep always talk WNBA a little bit, but I want to get into the NFL news. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, the worst kept secret in all sports, is finally it's official. Johnny is a Pittsburgh Steeler, and I really think that they could. I think they could, be second in this division.
I'm not going to question Mike Tomlin and what he's always able to do with Pittsburgh. I mean, they need to get the TJ Watt situation handled.
He'll be there. I mean, you know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, I know they're not. I mean, they're not Cincinnati bad as far as not wanting to play players, but
yeah, we'll get to them in a second.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't put it past Pittsburgh. And if Aaron Rodgers plays even the way he played, I mean, if you look at his numbers from last year, they weren't bad.
Yeah,
he actually put up good numbers. So I mean, Pittsburgh has always been defense and running the football. If they continue that, they've got a decent offensive line. If they can keep Aaron Rodgers upright, I think he'll make the plays that they need to make. And I think Pittsburgh's going to be, if he's healthy and he plays well, Pittsburgh is going to be a scary out, bro. They're going to be a scary team to play next year. I'm with you. I think I would put them just behind Baltimore. And I wouldn't be surprised if because they always battle each other anyway. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be fun to watch Aaron Rodgers go up against Lamar. Like, that'll be fun, those games.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I just think, and it's a 1-year deal. They're paying him $10 million. So it's not even like, he didn't ask for the world. Just asked for them to give him some time to, get all this stuff right. And he did. And, he'll be there. He was there during whatever this time, what OTAs right now. And then he'll be there during, camp. And seems like he's already, his teammates, I always feel like he gets a bad rap that his teammates don't like him. But when you talk to people, when you hear stories and you hear guys, talk about him in the locker room, there's not ever one bad word to say about him. I just think some.
Yeah, I was going to say you never actually hear that from players.
Yeah,
you hear
the
that
only
from
person
TV.
I've ever heard it from was Greg Jennings. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only person.
And I kind of hear Greg on his complaint about it. You know what I'm saying? But as far as other teammates, like, you really never hear other teammates complaining about Aaron Rodgers. Usually, like the media or something like that. But
right.
He's a vet. It's not like he needed to be at the voluntary OTAs. Yeah, he's gonna have to build the chemistry with those players, but who knows what's going on? You know what I'm saying, behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that there's been workouts, and they're gonna put the time in and the work in with. They got Metcalf or whatever and some other players. So he's going to put in the time with those guys. And again, Pittsburgh is all about defense and running the ball anyway. He's a smart veteran quarterback. If he stays healthy, again, Pittsburgh is going to be dangerous. And if Baltimore, because you know how Baltimore's notorious for like starting out slow sometimes. Like, this is not the year to like start out 2-4 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Pittsburgh can kind of run away with the division if they get on a little streak or whatever. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. But Cincinnati's always a wild card because you got Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
But you don't know what the hell's going on with the rest of the team.
Speaking of Cincinnati, like, to me that was the biggest topic of the week is the Bengals. So obviously, like, it's always like two steps. It's like one step forward, two steps back with the Bengals. Like, okay, they went out and they paid Chase and they paid Higgins. Good on them. Now, but you still have Trey Hendrickson, who led the league in sacks the last 2 years. He's asking for a new deal. Then the guy they should probably pay Trey, or they need to figure that situation out. Doesn't seem like he's asking for like bank the break, but he was told like, hey, we'll get you. And now that he's not getting it,
Right.
But the more importantly is it Shamar Stewart situation?
Yeah, the rookie. Yeah.
The rookie. And so at first you're like, like from the outside, it's like, oh, Rook, just shut up and sign the rookie deal. Like, you're lucky to play in this league, right? But then, like, when you dig into it, they're trying to put a clause in his contract that's never been put into any contract, any rookie contract in ever. In the NFL, it's pretty much like if he doesn't meet certain requirements, he's going to lose all his guaranteed money. So when every other rookie contract's guaranteed, and they're like,
Right.
oh well, there's a clause in there, and his agent was like, no, we ain't fucking doing that. And good on him, and good on the agent, and good on the kid, because if you sign that contract, then you're setting the precedent,
Right.
over every other rookie that comes in the league.
Right, and it's all these fucking organizations, bro. Like Cincinnati's doing this shit, and then you got these. I think it was Cleveland and somebody else who fucking guaranteed their second round picks contracts fully guaranteed. So now every other second round pick wants their shit fully guaranteed. So it's like fucking shit up for like come on, man. Like they actually set it up to where it's slotted to make sure that the veteran players don't lose money, because these rookies back in the day, I think Sam Bradford was the last one that got like $50-something million guaranteed.
I think Stafford got a huge deal too.
No, Stafford did, but I think Sam Bradford was the last one before they went into like slotted. So every slot has a certain amount that they make or whatever. But yes, there's different verbiage in the contract, and to put something in there where if he doesn't meet certain things, he's going to lose his guarantee money is absolutely ridiculous. If he does something criminal or something like that, I can see that. Yeah. But to try to put a clause in there where he has to like meet certain things, like that's, come on, man. Like you're trying this kid, bro, and he's got so much upside like that. He was somebody that, I would have been mad if the Dolphins had drafted, because the kid has so much potential and upside. And Cincinnati's being Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
And this is the guy you really kind of drafted to replace Trey Hendrickson, and either one in the building. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You want, and they're like digging their heels in, like. You know what I mean? They could have just been like, oh shit, all right, like you don't want to do that, our bad. Like we'll fix it. You know what I mean? You're already setting a bad precedent with this kid and his agent that you're trying. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to fuck him for the better part, and good on the agent, and good on, and you feel bad. He's in the, he was not the, they were talking to him. He's like, I want to be out there, I just can't be out there. You know what I mean? Like I can't. Like
you can't blame the kid. You know what I'm saying?
And the teammates have come out and said we don't blame him or Trey. You know what I mean? Like we get it. Like we get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Cincinnati already has a reputation of being cheap. Like like you said, you know what I'm saying? You did the right thing by paying Chase and T. Higgins. Like you had an opportunity to kind of change the narrative about your organization, because you could have paid Trey and you could have structured his contract so that you're not taking as much of a salary hit this year or even next year, because you have the two big contracts for the wide receivers. Like you could have structured it in a way where he gets his guaranteed money, but it's it's not going to hurt you in the salary cap. But then to try to put verbiage in the rookie come on, man. Like you just you said it perfectly. One step forward, two steps back. You know what I'm saying? They took care of Higgins and Chase. And then now they're effing it up with this rookie and with Trey. It's ridiculous, man. And that's again, if it wasn't for Joe Burrow, this organization would still be the Bungles. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, oh my God. Anyway, Cincinnati, bro.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Hopefully, and because they have Joe Burrow, they're a team. I like Joe Burrow, so they're a team you want to root for. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes,
like
people at
and keep fucking around Cincinnati, and when Joe Burrow gets close to the end of his contract, he's like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna go back to being shit.
Yeah. They're gonna have to, they're gonna have to score. They're gonna have to win games there, 55-45 or something.
It's gonna be like some old college shit. They're gonna have to fucking, you know what I'm saying, outscore everybody, and it's hard to win in this league like that.
Yeah. I had this on the docket for last week. And we didn't get to talk about this. Actually, real quick, I want to two quick things before we move into the back end of the show. We missed last week, so I wanted to get your thoughts on Tibbs being fired. what are the? I don't understand the Knicks here, real quick. Like you fire Tibbs, and then I felt like they have literally went out and asked every other NBA coach, every other team if they could talk to their coach, and each NBA team says, "Go fuck yourself, you idiots." And and now they don't have a plan here. Like, and who are you going to get that's better than Tibbs? A lot of people say Mike Malone. Well, here's my thing. Is Mike Malone much better than Tibbs? Like, Mike Malone's got a championship, but Mike Malone had a generational type talent to win him that championship.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like, I felt like Tibbs got the amount he could squeeze out of that team. Now, Tibbs has always had short leashes, always put a lot of pressure on his players. He's always, you know what I mean? Like, he's never played a deep bench. And Kenny Smith kind of might have said it best. Tibbs probably wouldn't play 9 in a baseball game. So, but I wanted to get your thoughts as Mr. New York Nick on the firing of Tibbs.
It wasn't really surprising, to be completely honest. I think we talked about it a little bit during that series, that it wouldn't surprise me if they wound up firing Tibbs. That was the talk. For a minute. Yeah. I think he did a good job of what he had and what he was able to do, to get the team to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 20-something years. Props on him. I think fans should praise what he did do for them, but he does have his shortcomings.
He was shit before they got there.
Right. But he does have his shortcomings as far as his style with, like you said, like not going to the bench, saying more, you kind of wear down your starters. And I understand, he made a comment one time about, you condition these guys so that they can handle that. Yes, but at the same time, you can also wear them out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you got role players for a reason, and you're not instilling any confidence in them when you don't play them. And then all of a sudden when you need them, you're throwing them out there and hoping that they play well, and that's not how you know what I'm saying, you can't do that in this league nowadays. You need to at least go 9 or 10 deep, you know what I'm saying, I would think, you know what I'm saying, in most franchises. But the whole thing about not having a plan, I'm gonna give Leon Rose in the front office their due. They've made the right decisions with, you know what I'm saying, with Jalen Brunson and with stuff like that. I wasn't the biggest.
It wasn't a Jalen Rose, not Jalen Rose, but a Rose.
Leon Rose.
Leon Rose, sorry. Yeah, this wasn't his decision. This was a Dolan decision.
See, and that's always been the problem is James Dolan sticking his nose in. Like, let the basketball people do the basketball shit. You know what I'm saying? I understand them going after Jason Kidd. I'm with you. Michael Malone is basically Thibodeau 2.0, right? As far as his coaching method and style or whatever, but teams aren't just gonna let them interview their coaches or whatever. But I think honestly, that could be more for show as far as them going and asking all these. I think they're probably looking for somebody a little bit on the younger side that can kind of mesh a little better with the players, because that's pretty much what's been the main thing going on in this league. There's talk about the former coach of Memphis that they're gonna go talk to now, who he was a player's coach. I know him and Jock kind of like fell out towards the end there or whatever, but I like some of the things he did. So maybe it is gonna take a younger type style mentality of coach. But Jason Kidd would have been nice, but no, Houston ain't gonna let you, and no, these other teams aren't gonna let you interview their coach. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just that made no sense, you know what I'm saying, for them to do that. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's always gonna be a New York tax. For those people that don't believe that there's a New York tax, yes, there is. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly towards the Yankees, but yes, it happens. It happens to the Knicks and to other New York teams as well, where the rest of the league ain't trying to just help you out. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna tax you, they're gonna charge you more than they would for other teams, whether it be trades or anything like that. And no, especially a young team like Houston. Like, you really thought Houston was gonna let you interview fucking Ime
Udoka.
Yeah, Ime Udoka. Come on, man. Like, he just got them. He got that team turned around. He had the second best record in the West.
Coach,
yeah. Like that's why it makes me feel like they kind of do that knowing that they were gonna say no, but they just threw it out there just to see what's up. But
yeah, hey, we're trying, guys. We're trying.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
trying. We're trying.
yeah,
They didn't let us. You know what I mean? We really
right,
wanted it, but they didn't.
right. But no, I think I'm saying it's gonna wind up being a younger person. Like I said, I wouldn't mind
like
it.
you go to the Ferrari shop trying to buy the Ferrari.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me buy it because of my credit score. You know what I mean? They wouldn't let me buy it. I wanted to buy
I wanted it.
I wanted to purchase it, but they wouldn't let me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
That was well said. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who they get. But I think it'll probably want to be in the former Memphis coach. And again, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. But
yeah, I know who you're talking.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Real quick, I wanted to discuss this real fast before we get to the back ends of the show. The Trevor Bauer case. Trevor won, so if you're not familiar, like a couple years, this is like 2020. Trevor Bauer gets suspended by the MLB for all this. Like a woman said she was raped, blah blah blah. Turns out all that shit was false. He sues her and for loss of money, obviously, right? And she has to pay him. I can't remember what it is, but it's millions of dollars, and rightfully so, because she ruined the man's career. And so, like, good for him, and get this man back in the damn MLB. Can we, Rob Manfred? Like, what are we doing here? This guy was found innocent, and now I know he's, especially during COVID times, he was poking a lot of the bears, but rightfully so. There's a couple people that the world owes apologies to, Trevor Bauer being one. Kyrie Irving, I feel like, is owed one. So, that's just my thoughts on the situation. But good on Trevor. And that you telling me there's not a team right now that couldn't use Trevor Bauer on their baseball team?
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I mean, that's such a touchy one. I mean, he's done some shit. I mean, he's proven to be a bit of an asshole anyway with some of his antics that he's done on the field. So that hasn't helped him, but this was like a rough allegation. So the fact that it was, that he was found innocent, and not only that he was found innocent, because it wasn't like he settled out of court and just, paid his way out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it came out that, like, she was foolish. Like, she lied on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, his whole career was ruined because of this thing. So that sucks. And you would hope that, somebody would give him an opportunity. But like you said, he was poking the bear. And then again, some of the antics that he's done on the field, even before all this shit came out, kind of had some teams that probably wouldn't be interested in him anyway. But I mean, if he's cleared all the allegations with this whole thing, then why can't he get an opportunity? We'll wind up seeing what happens. You'll be surprised. You know what I'm saying? The team will get desperate enough, especially since everything's been cleared and now he's suing her. That's how innocent he is. You'll be surprised. You'll be right, and he won. So you'll be surprised. Somebody will get desperate enough and give him an opportunity. I mean, I think he's pitching in some type of league. I don't know if it's in Japan or whatever. Yeah. But if he's doing well over there, somebody will give him an opportunity. We'll see what happens. But good on him. Since he was innocent on all that, you'll say that's a scary thing. You know what I'm saying? As a man and as a father of boys, that's something you always worry about. I mean, you try to raise your kids right. But there's always that possibility, and that makes it scary. You know what I'm saying? That a woman can say something, and you know what I'm saying, and that's all it takes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes for guys to get into trouble, and I'm not saying that obviously if a guy does something like that, they deserve to have their shit cut off and to be buried under the jail.
On the other side too.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if they're innocent, they don't do anything. For a woman to just be able to say that whatever like that, that's a scary proposition. That's a scary situation to be in. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see what happens as far as his baseball career, but hopefully his life is better having that cloud gone from over his head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. let's get into the back end of the show here. You did the movie. You went and watched. You said Ballerina.
Yeah, Ballerina. It's a spin-off movie from the world of John Wick. So if you're a John Wick fan, all the action movies with Keanu Reeves as John Wick, um, yeah, it was really good. It's Anna de Armas, who my God, she is a very attractive woman, but she kicks some serious ass in this movie. The action choreography sequences are really good. John Wick actually makes a cameo in this. If you're a John Wick fan, this takes place like in between John Wick 3 and 4, so it intertwines there, so it makes sense. You understand what's going on. But it's basically just her kicking major ass, and and it's realistic in the sense of like she not only is she using guns and whatever, blah blah, but she's using whatever she can find there to fight, because obviously she's a smaller woman, so it's not like they're making her seem like she's some superhuman girl that's just slamming big dudes and stuff. Nah, she's using whatever she can find, to fight these guys off. But the action was a hell of a lot of fun. She's obviously nice to look at, but it was a nice twist at the end. It was well done. If you're into action movies, if you're a John Wick fan, you're definitely gonna love Ballerina. Check it out. It's definitely worth the watch if you're into action at all. But it was a lot of fun. I'm a big Anna de Armas fan, so yeah, it was definitely worth it. I'd say 3.5 out of 5. I mean, the story, but they ain't gonna win no awards for screenplay.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? The fight choreography.
It's a good action movie.
Man, a good action flick. You know what I'm saying? And it was just fun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's what that's what the entertainment and the whole cinematic experience is supposed to be. Is you go out there, you have fun. We had smiles on our faces the whole time with the action sequences. It was a lot of fun to watch it, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens going forward, because they left it open to where they could possibly, keep going with that or whatever. And there's obviously John Wick 5 is coming out. I don't know if you are into John Wick at all, Nick.
So like they all kind of blend together, which most people do these days.
Yeah.
So I'm every time I'm like, I don't think I've watched this John Wick, and then I go to turn it on, I'm like, I have seen this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I think I've watched them all, but what I mean? It's just like,
there's 4 of them. The one thing I do like about this one is, because if you remember, like the original one is the best one in my opinion.
Right, like most
right. But in the first one there was the whole Baba Yaga thing, like where he's the one you call to kill the boogeyman. So like there was this whole aura of you don't fuck with John Wick.
Yeah.
In the last couple movies that kind of went away because everybody and their mother was going after him.
Yeah.
This one kind of brought it back. Like he in his cameo in this, like there was a couple people that was like, I'm not fucking with John Wick. So that whole aura of how badass he is was kind of brought back in this movie. So that was nice to see. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, man. Like I said, if you like, action movies and good fight sequences and stuff, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. It was a good time, and it made sense with the story. They intertwined it perfectly with the whole John Wick world.
Let's get in. I want to talk about this album. Lil Wayne dropped last week, the Carter 6. Let me tell you, the internet is shitting on this album.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Absolutely shitting on it. So my first assessment, this is my assessment of the album, is I think it's actually better than the Carter 5, personally. Oh, wow. Yeah, I just was not a fan of the Carter 5. Like Carter 5 had a couple good songs. They both are not very good albums, but to me, the 6 is better than 5. I think the first half of Carter 6 is really good, and then the second half is just pretty much skippable. Like, so like the Friday when it came out, I listened to like the first half in the gym, and then like I'm like kind of online and people are just shitting on it. I'm like, what? These people are insane. Like I listened to the first half, it's pretty good. Like I thought maybe the second half was going to be just, you know what I mean? Like then I got to the second half and I was like, okay, now I understand why everybody's shitting on this thing. I do think if it wasn't Lil Wayne and it didn't say the Carter on it, it probably wouldn't get as much hate, but because we have seen Lil Wayne is one of the greatest of all time, like usually, like you talk to anybody, like he's up there, right? Like
Yes.
he's it doesn't matter. Like music is pretty subjective, but everybody kind of has Wayne somewhere in their top 10 at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he should be. He should be in everybody's top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere like wherever you rank him at.
Right.
Some people 1, 2, whatever, 6, 7, whatever. So, but for the most people that you talk to or that listen to hip hop would tell you that he's somewhere in their top 10. So we expect greatness. We expect I didn't have high expectations for the Carter 6 because how shitty the 5 was, and Wayne hasn't put out anything really great or good in a long time, in like a decade. To me, and I just blame it on the drugs. Like eventually, you drink so much damn lean, your brain can't comprehend a damn thing. And the tracks, the beats weren't the greatest, but most of his albums. And most people would also tell you Wayne's mixtapes are always better than his albums. But I went back. It was funny because like leading up to the 6, I was every day in the gym. I was listening to a Carter album every day just to kind of, I don't know, gear up for it. It's like, man, 1 and 2 were great. 3 was like probably at the peak of the powers, and then 4 was like kind of slowly starting to slide off, and then 5 and 6 have been really the fall off. But man, it probably is getting a little bit too much more hate than what it needs to be. But it's I probably give it like a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah. Nah, I mean that's fair. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because like you said, if you listen to social media, it's like one of the worst albums ever put out. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I mean, if it's hard to put out classics every time. You know what I'm saying? So even for a top 10 all time, you know what I'm saying, rapper, it's hard for every album to be, you know what I'm saying, top tier. You know what I'm saying? So like you mentioned, the first half had some good stuff to it, and you enjoyed it. The second half, not so much. So I mean, that's a fair score, 2.5 out of the 5. I mean, he's in my top 10. I mean, he's in the second half of my top 10. But Wayne, I like Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna check it out because it is Wayne. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna pay more attention to the first half than the second half now. But I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, the second half is skippable. All right, Johnny, let's get into our top 5 of the week. And we did worst TV moms on Mother's Day. So I figured why not do worst TV dads on Father's Day, since last year we did the best TV dads. So let's get into the worst TV dads. I'll start with you. Who's your number 5 worst TV dad?
All right, number 5, and I'm putting them on there just to get it out the way. And you're saying this is my only animated one on my list, but and it was debatable between him and Homer, but I went with Peter Griffin, a Family Guy.
I have 5 too. I have 5. I have Peter at 5.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I love Family Guy, and I love Peter Griffin, but poor Meg. You know.
Some of the people that I have on my list are some of my favorite characters in TV, but they're just shitty dads. Like, Peter is the shitty dad. Like, especially to Meg.
Especially to poor Meg.
Yeah.
I got Peter Griffin as my number 5.
I have literally 5. It was Peter Griffin. So we was lockstep right there. I was like, it is true. He is a shit dad. Who is your we'll go right into number 4. Who's your number 4?
My number 4, I went with Frank Costanza from Seinfeld. That was George Costanza's dad. And he was just brutal to his son and just constantly gigging on him and just tearing him down. He didn't get enough screen time. I mean, there was enough characters on
just as bad as that father in Seinfeld as he is in King of Queens.
King of Queens, yes. It's basically the same character.
Yes. Yes. My God, I hope he was a good father to Ben. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he was a great dad to Ben. but his character, so he was, you say, even though he came up with say one of the greatest things with the Festivus for the rest of us, saying, like, so I appreciate that from Mr.
Even that in
Costanza.
itself is a terrible father.
Yes,
Piece of strength and like
you ain't celebrating Christmas. You coming up with some shit.
like
the grievances.
Have to wrestle, like, you know what I mean? Like the
Yes.
area of grievances, like
Yes.
like shit where he's just shit.
Yeah, but some of the best scenes and episodes was with him in it. You know what I'm saying? Him and Kramer had great chemistry. The whole the what was it? The man
the
man's ear. Like, that's one of the greatest episodes ever of Seinfeld. So yeah, I got Frank Costanza as my number 4.
Great character, great
bad dad.
Bad dad.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good one. And again, like, same character on Kings and Queens. Bad dad, great character. Yeah. One of the people that made this show. My number 4 is Lucius Lyon from Empire. I mean, this man damn near tried to kill his sons, all 3 of them. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you just give the company over to one of your sons? And, like, he tried to manipulate them, tried to, spread them out. You know what I mean? Like, try to like make them beef with each other. It was just he's a terrible human being, So what up?
I never got into Empire, but from some of the stuff that I saw, he was when you're manipulating your kids and kind of pinning them against each other, because you ain't trying to, like, give them any you know what I'm saying, you ain't trying to give them the power to run the business is crazy. So I from what I've heard he definitely belongs on that list.
What's your number 3?
My number 3, and again, one of my favorite characters, but he just wasn't the greatest dad. I'm going with Al Bundy. And I love Al Bundy. You know what I'm saying? But he treated his kids he did what he had to do. He went to work and took care of his kids. But as far as, like, really giving a shit about, like, what they were doing or whatever, like, he wasn't really worried about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, his daughter was out there doing whatever she was doing home, and his son was doing, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't getting the proper support he needed. And again, Al Bundy's one of my favorite characters. But he just wasn't the greatest of dads. And I mean, he honestly could have probably been 5th, because, you know what I'm saying? But my top 2 are, like, some fucked up people. So the last 3 are kind of tame compared to my top 2.
Okay, my number 3 is Frank Reynolds from It's Always Sunny. And Frank, like, he's a billionaire, gives nothing, does nothing but just does coke and blows and whores. Then this man would get his kids, buy his own kids whatever they wanted for Christmas. He'd buy it for himself, and just to show it off in front of them. So pretty much just kind of a horrible, like, one of my favorite characters on TV, but just a bad dad. Like, he's and he might be Charlie's dad. There's always kind of inside joke there. And so I had to go with Frank Reynolds as my number 3. So who's your number 2?
My number 2, and this is a show that I don't know if a lot of people saw, but it was one of my favorite shows. But I'm going with Arlo Givens. He's the dad on Justified.
I love that show. Yeah,
that show is one of my favorite shows, you know what I'm saying, ever. I'm so glad that they came out with that, like, reboot and second, you know what I'm saying, version of it. It's so much fun. But he was horrible. He was a fucking criminal. He tried to set up his son. He tried to have his son murdered.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. He was just a horrible, horrible person. So yes, Arlo Givens on Justified is my number 2 worst TV dad ever.
His dad's like a drug dealer.
He was a drug dealer. He was robbing people, you know what I'm saying? Like, and his son was a freaking U.S. Marshal, and he was still doing shit behind his son's back, trying to set his son up, more than one time.
Yeah, that's a great.
But
Great
it's
show,
a great show, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like it. I like this show.
yeah,
And,
dude.
the dad's a good actor too. He's the dad in Dewey Cox, American.
Yeah.
Wrong kid died. Every time I see him, I just expect him to say that. My number 2 is none other than I didn't know his name, but Will Smith's dad in Fresh Prince.
Bro,
Maybe it's just for the simple fact that one scene, you know what I mean? Like everybody
that shit was heartbreaking, bro.
Yeah, where he's like, how come you don't? I play basketball. You ain't teaching me that,
right?
You know what I mean? Like
how come he don't want me?
Yeah, how come
that
he
was
don't want me? Yeah.
I think we talked about it when we did the top 5 best dads because I put in Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
And we talked about that scene with Will's dad, like that. Yeah, that was my honor. I had that one here for honorable mention because that was just horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, number 2 is none other than Will's dad from Fresh Prince. So,
all right.
Number 2. Yeah. Who's your number 1?
All right, my number 1 is, and I went back and forth because there's a lot of horrible dads on this show, but I'm going with Stannis Baratheon. He's from Game of Thrones, and this dude got his brother killed, got his brother murdered so that he can try to get the crown. Still didn't get the crown, and then sacrificed his daughter, who was probably 10, maybe 10 years old, burned her at the stake, bro. Dang. Because he thought that that's what he needed to do in order to become the king of the Iron Throne. And like, bro, like that was just, it was heartbreaking. It was horrifying to see this little girl, and she's like, "Daddy, please no." And like he burning your daughter at the stake, bro. I think that qualifies for being the worst dad. And there was some bad fucking dads on that show, several bad, but burning your daughter alive, bro. Like, and sorry if it's a spoiler for all the people who haven't seen Game of Thrones. It's only been out like 15 years.
I never seen it. I didn't see
it. Say, oh, so sorry.
I'm not gonna watch. I'm not. It's not for me. It's not for me.
But that was just horrible, bro. Like that. I can't watch that episode again. And it's one of the greatest shows on TV. But that episode, like, and she's such a good kid. Like, she's so sweet leading up to it. Like, you almost felt like something's gonna happen, but not that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, dude, burning her alive, that was crazy, bro. So yeah, the Game of Thrones fans out there know who I'm talking about. Yeah, so Stannis Baratheon is the worst TV dad that I've ever seen.
My number 1 worst TV dad's Frank Gallagher from Shameless.
Okay.
I mean, are you ever?
Nah, we talked about this before. I haven't. I definitely want to watch that. I'm a big William H. Macy fan. Yeah. I love him, and I've heard so many good things about Shameless, so I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
Drags on first, just like most TV shows, kind of drags on a little bit,
right?
Like the last few seasons. But Frank is just a piece. I mean, he's your typical, not really typical, but he's just a drunk, alcoholic father who gives zero fucks about his kids.
Right.
They're the ones kind of taking care of him instead of vice versa. Yeah. I think I had the mom on the worst TV.
Yeah, I'm about to say you had the mom as she was in your top 5 too.
Yeah, so, I mean, that shows you these poor kids. They got the worst TV.
Yeah, they got the worst fucking TV parents.
Yeah. But there's people. I mean, in reality, there's kids that are like that. Have had to live those hard lives. So
unfortunately, unfortunately, there are fucking horrible parents. Period.
Kind of makes the show, like, especially I think people of kind of like our type of background that kind of grew up maybe not with the not on third base, you know what I mean, we grew up in the dugout instead. But yeah, he's just a piece of shit. I mean, at one point in time they even like they throw his ass in the river. So like his own kids just couldn't, you know what I mean? So
his own kids try to take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, man.
Yeah, and he's like a little roach. He won't die. He just continues to show up and continues to cause chaos for his children. So Yeah, Frank Gallagher is my number my number 5. I mean, there's quite. I mean, Homer Simpson was a
Homer Simpson was a possible. Tywin Lannister, and there's another one on Game of Thrones who's a
Tony
piece of
Soprano.
shit. Tony Soprano's another one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I love this character, but he wasn't exactly the greatest of dads, even though he did love his dad. But Dexter wasn't exactly the best dad, but I love the character and I love the show itself. But I'm with you with the whole couple thing. Like I had the mom Bluth on Arrested Development as my one of my top 5 moms, and I could have put the dad in there as well because he was just as fucking horrible as his wife. So yeah, I'm with you with the some shows, mom
Frank
and dad
Ramone,
are both pieces of shit.
Frank Ramone from Everybody Loves
Raymond. Frank Ramone.
Like,
oh my god, he was so fucking funny with it though too, man. Yeah.
Again, great character.
Yeah, shitty dad. Yep, I'm with you on that. Yep, that was a fun list, man.
So Devin here says, "What about Goku from Dragon Ball Z?" I don't know.
I don't know Dragon Ball Z, so
not my repertoire. But I guess he was never around. Well, hey.
Well, yeah. If he's never around, then he definitely qualifies as the worst dad. But some of these dads, you would prefer that they weren't around, as opposed to the shit that they did. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. All right, Johnny, you got anything else before we get up out of here?
No, just again want to shout out all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Happy Father's Day to yourself. Enjoy the day with the fam. Everybody be on the lookout for Kendall Sports Network. The Dolphin Chronicles is going to be coming back in the next couple of weeks. They got some good stuff going on there. If you're into MLS and anything South Florida sports, check out Kendall Sports Network. They got it covered. Over there, the Dolphin Chronicles will be coming back in the next few weeks, so we can talk some Miami Dolphins football with the drama of our Mike McDaniel and all the Tua shit and everything else that's going on with my Dolphins. Thank you for not bringing any of that shit up today, by the way. Appreciate that. I'll take that as a Father's Day present, not having to talk about them pieces of shit right now.
All right. That's it, folks. We'll probably Johnny's moving next week, so we may not be back on next weekend, but we'll be back not too long after that. So be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. I'll be back on Wednesday with Head Kicks and Haymakers. So continue. If you need any MMA coverage, please check us out. Other than that, we'll see you all next time.
Peace.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.